Welcome back to State of Decay 2 and the Assembly. We've done a lot with bounties for a little while, and I've got some bounties sitting here waiting for me in the background for whenever I get around to them. But I should not lose sight of our overall goal, which is to legacy with this community. So step one, of course, of legacying, step one is getting a leader. I've already got a leader. Step two is killing all the plague hearts. And right now, I don't even know where the plague hearts are. So that's a problem I have to solve. I also need enough resources to fight them. Right now, I've got a workshop 1. I think I can actually afford to upgrade the workshop right now, so I'll get that started. But I'm going to want a fair amount of fire, explosives, bullets. I've claimed myself an ammo outpost, which is helpful. I'd like to have a fuel outpost at some point, and I also just want to collect a fair amount of of fuel and ammo. So there's several things that I can do to push in that direction, but right now it looks like what I've got to deal with is a siege. So since I did not build this community with characters who had a Haven device, sieges are a thing I'm going to have to deal with periodically. Let me real quick, though, since we're still kind of waiting for the zombies, and since I've got a few people here who can, defend me. This character actually doesn't have... I don't remember why. This character does not have a primary weapon, and that seems like a mistake. So let me grab this 1022. I've also got my 45 for if I need it. And I can also... Let's carry bandages, just because we're cheap right now, instead of painkillers. Okay, so this character's ready to go out whenever it's time, but for right now, let's deal with the zombies. It's so funny, after playing Dying Light 2, I'm so used to the idea that I should just be able to do a rocketing, double kick at these zombies and knock them away. But no, that's not in our game. I mean, I think we do have at least in State of Decay 1, we had a move like that. We might have a move that's a little bit like that in 2, but it's a specialized move, and I don't think this character can do it. So, oh gosh! No? Okay, you stay away from that cloud right now. Get out of there. Yeah, we're avoiding that door now.
Of course we fucking survived. It's what we do.
All right. Well, that went pretty well, actually.
That's a lot of racket.
I kind of thought that because I began my my workshop, that was actually going to raise my threat level high enough that it was going to be a big problem. But it looks like no, that is not the case. So, cool. We'll keep this workshop going. And I think we're ready to go on a little trip. So, I think what we want to do is we'll start out by heading south. We'll hit up, let's see, cell tower. Yeah, cell tower is going to be better. Let's grab this cell tower first. And we're just going to start heading south, hitting up the major survey points, trying to find all of our plague hearts. And if we find good sources for fuel and ammo while we're on the way, that's just gravy. We're going to try to avoid getting into too much trouble with our car. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, does anyone remember where I left my old car? I definitely went somewhere with it where I got into huge trouble. But I forgot what part of the map that was. Was it over here? Ah, it was over here. The broken trekker. Okay, so I abandoned that car. Now, one thing I should check. I don't think I do. I don't think I've got any repair kits at home, but let me check and see if I've got repair kits. No, I don't. Okay, so if I find a place along the way that gives me repair kits, that's potentially really valuable because I'd really love to get that trekker back. It was really good for its carrying capacity. Oh, hey, Z Peekins, thank you so much for gifting people subscriptions. That's really helpful and cool. So Z Peekins showed up and actually asked me how my day is going so far. Pretty good. I had some really productive meetings this morning that I will not tell you anything about. And, oh gosh, there's so many zombies here. And today is kind of nice because, days that are really full of meetings tend to just sort of freak me out a little bit and stress me out. But days that are mostly full of, like, personal work, play testing, that sort of thing, those are much more relaxing days. And so today is a day that, even though I had a couple of nice working sessions with people in the morning, which are the less stressful type of meeting, and then I got some personal work done, writing some documents that were important, and then I've got a lot of play testing planned for this afternoon. So it's gonna be a pretty relaxing day. I've got a similar day tomorrow, so I'm kind of looking forward to the rest of this week. All right, so here's our first survey point. So each survey point, by the way, has got stop it. It's got a range stat that I sort of manually set on a lot of these things. Actually, I set some of them. I wasn't the only person who was working on this by any means, but we set ranges on these things so that certain survey points look further than other certain survey points. And so cell towers are the ones that in general have the longest range. And so if you're sort of sweeping through the map and trying to use as many survey points as you can to collect data on where stuff is, your billboards are going to give you the immediate area around them. They're not extremely useful. The cell towers are the ones that are going to give you the most utility. So, La Coalition is suggesting that if you press the kick button instead of the execute button behind a zombie, you do cool stuff that La Coalition likes. Well, I should try that on a zombie at some point. It does sound like there's a zombie down below me who just got into my space, so maybe I'll get some opportunities to fight zombies on the way back to my car.
That could be our next outpost.
Oh, man, I love how fast we made surveying. This used to take so much time, and now it's just so quick. Okay, what am I missing? This one? There we go. That's everything. So let's have a look. All right, yeah. So we found 3 plague hearts in this area. And are there any claimable outposts that we found? I don't think we did. There's a Jolly Collie Tavern over there. Okay, there is a gun store over there. So if I wanted to go up this way, I could probably grab some ammo. There's also some fuel here. But because there's no outposts available in those directions, I think I'm not going to prioritize that right now. Let's head south. All right, so this billboard, normally billboards aren't that useful, but since this is the only one in the area, and ooh, it's close to an auto repair shop, yeah, that does seem like it might be a valuable place to go. So let's head down there next. Oh, wait a minute. There's a container here. Hold on. Gotta search every container. So Steva143, once I opened up the Meager Valley map, he just was like, oh, my favorite map! Yes, so Meager Valley, I think, might still be my favorite map. There are reasons to like all of them. And there's reasons why I like all of them. But I think if you stack up all of those reasons on top of each other... Oh, no! What? Really? I've got Blood Plague now? That was... Man, Nightmare is aggressive. All right.
I feel like shit. Maybe I better see a doctor.
Where is my nearest... Do I have to go back home? Ugh. I have to go back home. Unless I find someplace that I can actually claim that seems worthwhile. I mean, in the short term... Oh, what's this? Is that claimable? It doesn't look like it's claimable. Well, you know, I don't want to go home empty-handed. So let me see if I can, on my way home, hit up a site that at least has fuel in it, because I know that's a resource I'm going to want to have a lot of as I'm going after these plague hearts. Stop it. And I just don't want to come home with just an axe. An axe and some information that just doesn't seem valuable enough. So we got 8.5 minutes. We're fine. We'll be okay. I mean, as long as I don't hit any, you know, bloaters, we'll be okay. Oh, look, some screamers. Who are going to make some bloaters? Oh, look, another bloater. This is actually a really dangerous plan. What am I doing? I'm, like, immediately regretting everything. Why did I drive in this direction? Oh, it's wide open over here. Cool. Well, no freaks around right now, so... And actually, because this is an area that does not have a plague heart nearby... Let me do this. Oh, stop it. That means there's no plague zombies. I am so tired for some reason. Oh, it's because I'm dying. That's right. I forgot that it's not just low stamina that makes you act like you're dying. It makes you fight really slow. Also, dying of blood plague makes you that way too.
Seriously, that's it?
So Stevo143 wants to know, was it always the plan to support the game this long? That's a good question, because, I mean, I think it's always been a dream that if the game was successful, we might support it this long. But there were also, that was never a certain thing. When we were working on State of Decay 2 in the early days, I loved coming up with plans for how we would support the game over time. But, because we were, there was a lot of uncertainty. We weren't sure how the game was going to land. We weren't sure, what the audience was going to be like. It was really easy to deprioritize, like, finalizing those plans because they all just seemed very up in the air. Okay, cool. I think we've justified ourselves. Let's head home. And so it's kind of funny, like, looking back at some of those plans because they're very different from what we ended up doing. Because there was just so much uncertainty, we ended up just never really finalizing plans that went out that far into the future. And as a result, you kind of see us sort of shifting our plans frequently as time went on and as sort of circumstances developed. So, the approach we were taking when we made Daybreak and Heartland was different from the approach we were taking when we made the Zed Hunter pack, which is different from the approach that we were taking with Juggernaut versus all of the, Bounty Broker updates versus, Homecoming. Like, each of those kind of represents almost like a different approach. And then the approach we're taking right now is a little different from that. We've basically just kind of been, over time. Oh, do I not have any cure? I really hope that I can make cure right now. Over time, we keep shifting our strategy, partially in response to, what we see from the community, what people are responding to, what's working, what's not working. Like Homecoming or Heartland, which were very content-heavy updates. We're now sort of like deprioritizing those a little bit compared to, say, mechanical upgrades like the Plague Territory, because we found that players really responded to the latter, and it really sort of added a lot more sort of long-term replayability than content updates did. Stuff like that, it's like so we're being really flexible about it, but all of the lessons that we're learning now, I think, are going to a water tower. All the lessons that we're learning now are it's all information that we're sort of what am I trying to say? Internalizing pretty deeply, so that in the future, whenever we're continuing to support future games that we make, we're going to go at it with a lot more knowledge and a lot more experience with like what it's like to maintain a game this long. And I think that our future games are going to have a lot more of a coherent strategy that's built on something that we feel like we can rely on, rather than just being sort of like, I'm not actually sure what's going to work. Let's just try stuff and see what happens, So that sort of, hey, let's just try stuff and let's be flexible and let's listen to what people are saying and figure out our strategy is a really good way to go. And you should always maintain some degree of flexibility no matter what you're doing. But yeah, I think we are learning a lot from State of Decay 2 right now, which I think is going to be valuable to whatever we do with other games in the future. So I changed my strategy when I realized that there was a water tower here, which probably has much longer survey range. It's also surrounded by plague zombies, and now I am more scared of plague zombies than I was before. So I'm going to climb up here away from them. So new elite support team asks, any difficulties coming that are harder than lethal? So I don't think, I think that with 5 difficulty levels now, we probably got our maximum. We probably strained the complexity of that particular system to the breaking point. And I don't think that we necessarily should continue down that same road. Like as people, master lethal, that means, they need another one above lethal. And after they master that, they need another one above that. That's sort of this linear approach that I think might not be the best one. I think that we might need to come up with other ways for players to be able to sort of customize and enhance their own difficulty that isn't necessarily just adding more difficulty levels to the list. Because eventually, we could end up with 10 difficulty levels, and then just anyone looking at the list of difficulties would be like, and kind of be off-put by the entire system. 5 is probably about the maximum where people still feel like, oh yeah, I understand the differences between these difficulties, and I'm not intimidated by them. Ooh, a survey car. Ooh, a survey car. Okay, that seems like a thing we might want to pay attention to. Because right now I've got a pretty standard car, which isn't really giving me any particular advantage. But right now, since my goal is to run around and survey stuff, grabbing that. Oh, it's got no fuel. That's fine. I've got a bunch of fuel in my trunk. That might really be valuable. Let's go do that. Yeah, so Hop Cypher, yeah, I think giving the Clio weapons their own, like icon and logo and stuff like that, that does make a lot of sense. I think we did it with Red Talon and network weapons. There's no reason why we wouldn't do it with Clio weapons. We just kind of haven't. Okay, this is a lot of zombies all of a sudden. I wanted to search that container, but I think I should just get the crap out of here. All right, so I found that survey car. Okay, this one is really determined. All right, I found that survey car, and I'm wrecking this car. So let's just go make a swap. Now that survey car, it says it's out of gas. It could also be out of repair. If it's out of repair, then okay. Well, it is out of repair, but it's not on fire. So I think we're probably still good. It looks like it's actually in better shape than this car, so, which I'm just basically liberally hitting zombies with now. All right, we'll grab these. We'll fuel it up. Oh wait, something's coming close. All right. Let's refuel the survey car. We are definitely going to need to get a repair kit, though. So I'm not sure that Seconds Auto Parts, or whatever that place is called, Seconds Auto Repair that I saw. Where was it? Was it? No, that's not it. Was it one of these? Wait, so I think I heard a hiss, like there's a zombie nearby. Okay, whatever. We're getting closer. But what was I looking at? Oh, yeah, there was a Seconds Auto Parts around here someplace. I thought, oh, there it is. All right, I don't think I've searched it yet. So if I can manage to not hit any zombies with this car and get it down there and repair it, this might be the ideal car for me to take, for me to have with my current set of objectives. Let's get back on the road, where I'm less likely to just come over a rise and land on a bloater. Though, I can do that. I'm capable of doing that under almost any circumstances. Okay, so I have no doors right now, which is going to make it harder to hit screamers. Okay, Seconds Auto Repair. Let's leave this car out here. Run inside. I'm hearing some grumbling. Hey, quit your whining. Oh, sheesh. Try to dodge a zombie. They still hit you in passing. I am so glad that Brian added repair kits to Seconds Auto Shops. When the game first shipped, there were never repair kits at auto shops, which was insane. It was just an oversight. We just didn't think of it, as being one of the core things that players expect. I mean, it's when you think about it, it's obvious. If you're listening, what are things that players expect to find at certain places? Obviously, finding toolkits at auto shops. That makes sense. It just didn't occur to us. We were thinking mostly of resources and stuff like that, and so at first you would search the entire auto shop and find nothing that was useful for repairing a car. So Brian went through and he added them. So now I think you might be guaranteed to get at least one repair kit when you go to an auto shop. It's something along those lines. Yeah, so new Elite Support Team is saying that they really like the idea of, the difficulty in the game having, like, specific mutators where you can sort of come up with exactly how you want your game to be different, or even randomize them. That's actually, when we talk about these ideas about, like, what we might want to do, that's actually Eric Anderson's favorite approach when we have these discussions. There's lots of different ways that we could give players more sort of difficulty customization, and we're not committing to any of them right now. But when we have those discussions, that's the one that Eric likes. The idea of being able to sort of say, You know, okay, I already used that one. Let's go down here. Of being able to say, okay, you know, I'm gonna start a new game or get onto a new map, and I don't know what it's gonna be like there, and I'm gonna have to adapt to whatever the conditions are on the ground. That's a really kind of fun way to sort of challenge yourself. And so yeah, so that's one approach that he often favors. Whereas there's other people who often favor, you know, the idea of giving people just a lot of arbitrary customization control, saying, okay, I'm gonna fight. I'm going to set it up so that the zombies are this way and my people are that way and there's these conditions and those conditions, and customizing challenges for themselves, and then maybe even sharing those ideas with their friends so their friends can also try the same challenge. That's also got some value to it. And again, we're not committing to any of these particular ideas right now, and so don't take any of these. This is just stuff we've talked about. This is not a promise for how future features are going to work. Okay, where was the... Oh, there's the cell tower. Okay, there's a bunch of freaking zombies here. I'm trying not to shoot them too frequently so that my stamina gets a little bit of time to recover. I'm really glad that I brought this quiet low-caliber gun with me, because that seems to be the way that I need to deal with plague zombies. Like, I'm so bad at getting into fights with them and not getting infected. I really need to use bullets on them. But, I mean, right now I'm still in the zone in Nightmare mode where my access to bullets is very limited. And so I can't use that all the time. I can't just, you know, fire bullets willy-nilly. So La Coalition says, as I'm sitting here describing different ways we could tackle difficulty customization, Coalition is like, oh, so we should take this out of context and assume it's all fact? Done. Like, yeah, please don't do that. I mean, even with, you know, a lot of these discussions that we have aren't just like, you know, on the State of Decay 2 team. It's just across the entire studio, you know. And so some of these ideas that I talk about, maybe they're for a future game, or maybe they are for State of Decay 2, or maybe we never do certain ones because we decide to do other ones. There's, you know, when I'm letting you in on sort of tentative thoughts, that really is all they ever are, and none of these things are ever promises. And so I hope that you enjoy that. You know, like, I hope that you kind of like getting let in on some of these thoughts without me confirming anything, because, you know, a lot of these things, there are so many different ways that we could go, and each of them has got a lot of different ramifications, and we have to sort of think through a lot of those ramifications and sometimes try something out and find out how it works before we can be certain whether it's a good idea. And so, you know, in that environment, you know, we really have to ensure that we're very careful about what we actually say versus, you know, what we think we can do, because we don't want people to feel like we've promised a specific outcome and then we end up doing something else for very good reasons. I mean, you know, we're always very careful with the decisions we make, and usually there's a very good reason why we do what we do. But you know, if people feel like there's something that I've promised them that they didn't get, that can be a sense of betrayal, which is not something that we want to you know, create with our community. So that's why I'm always very cautious to just emphasize, hey, when I'm talking through, you know, oh, these are neat ideas that we discuss sometimes, that does not mean that any of them are real. So just please take everything like that with a grain of salt. Sunny Games, if you're watching this later, please do not quote me out of context and say that we're definitely doing things. And I know you're actually, Sunny is always very careful to put things in context. He just came out with a video today, you know, that had a quote from me about, you know, story possibilities in the franchise, and things we're thinking about. And he was, you know, very careful not to take it out of context and not to make assumptions that weren't warranted, which I appreciated. Yeah, so, oh, it's funny. Malator had the same thought, actually. As I was talking about, say, taking things out of context, Malator was like, oh, that reminds me. I haven't watched the latest Sunny Games video. Yeah, so, again, so that the latest Sunny Games video is based on a quote of mine, but it's one where I'm pretty clearly not saying a lot. So that's cool. I always, whenever I see a Sunny Games video that looks like it's quoting me, I'm always like, oh no, did I say something weird that is going to get me into trouble out of context? But that one, I don't think I said anything weird. I think it's just basically, you know, confirming the weaknesses that we've seen in State of Decay 2, the places where we'd like to make improvements in the franchise, but not promising any particular outcome. I think that's usually the best policy for when I'm, you know, approaching questions like this. Oh, La Coalition is reminding me where there is a a good source of materials on this map. So I'm not really looking for materials. I mean, I think that, I mean, if I go to a place that has got materials, I won't turn my nose up at them. I marked the other billboard, but I might as well stop at this one since I'm here. I'm not going to turn my nose up at materials, but the main things I'm going to look for if I get close to them are actually fuel and ammo. So far, I've actually been pretty laser focused on surveying. So, and the problem is, because this is a nightmare map, I mean, most of the sites that I'm finding are, you know, deep within plague territory, and which means I'm not going to be able to claim them. You know, and that is one thing I'd like to do, is claim myself a fuel outpost at some point, but I'm not really seeing a lot of options here. Oh, there's a thing we could claim, but it's not a fuel outpost.
Okay, enough of this shit.
So yeah, that's yeah, one of those weird farms that doesn't have normal things in it. So what are we missing here? I feel like, yeah, this whole area, I think I must have cleared a plague heart here already, because this whole area is pretty free from plague. I might have found most of the plague hearts. Yeah, we've got a lot of white outposts here. Ooh, wait, this was a fuel outpost, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, I didn't catch that the first time. It's got some freaks guarding it. But that might actually be, and it was right across the street from where I was scavenging before. I should have gone there while I was there. But maybe that's a good spot to go to. And in the meantime, how are we doing with other resources? You can't really see this, but okay, I am low on materials. I'm also low on meds, especially given the fact that I just used some cure. So I think, since I've sort of scouted the whole southern area here, maybe my next stop should be over here, and maybe I should stop by this meds location, this pharmacy, on my way up. And try to grab some meds. Oh, good. Somebody's... Oh, crap. What is this? Oh, gosh. What are these guys doing here? Okay. Let's not get in our car immediately. Going through a lot of 22s. But there's a lot of zombies, and it's worth it. Not to have these zombies attack my car, and not to have these zombies give me blood plague. I think it's worth using these bullets. I'm really glad that Creighton has gunslinging. That has been incredibly valuable to this whole process. Let's see if we can get some electronics out of these things. Okay, so, Zedric von Katmal is pointing out that there's a fuel that fuel outpost is apparently near a weapon case. So while I'm over there, because I have not scavenged a bunch of weapons yet for this community. That is a good idea. Trying to grab a weapon case where I can. So is there anything here that feels not particularly valuable to me right now? So yeah, let's
zombies must think they own this town.
Let's head up to the north. Defying Death asks if there's going to be a State of Decay 2 VR, or any kind of State of Decay VR game upcoming. We do not have any plans along those lines right now. VR is a fascinating... It's sort of a fascinating new wrinkle that's been added to the game industry. It's an interesting new sort of option, a new way for people to relate to games. But it's also... It's still pretty much on the fringes. It's a small audience of people who have really committed to having a good VR setup. And there's also a variety of different ways that you can approach VR. It's like it's not very, there isn't like one obvious way to make a successful VR game. And so I think that right now, our game is, we really want to bring State of Decay to, the sort of a very large audience of people who are a nice mix of hardcore players, but also some more casual players. Like, we really want this to be a thing that a lot of people can enjoy. And so going too deep into VR is not really in the character of what we're doing with our franchise, just because it would be a very limited audience that it would be aimed at. And we kind of want to go a little broader than that. So, it doesn't mean that, it's not possible that someday there will be a reason to make a State of Decay VR game. But right now, that's not one of our priorities. Okay, Coalition is pointing out that apparently there's a shed to the west of me that has a couple weapon crates too. Well, I'll see if I can track down some of these weapon crates. I can't promise you that I'll be any good at finding them.
Time to bail on this dump.
Ooh. I've got a broadcast mod thing, but I think that I might already have that one installed. Yes, I do. So that one's just for selling or putting into somebody's inventory. All right. Let me search this just because I can. Yay, parts. Ooh, my scouting's at max level. Yay! Containers revealed in unsecured buildings. Cool. All right, so so you said it's near a shed to the west? I don't see, so there's this shed, which I think I've already taken the materials out of, but it could be an unmarked shed too. So let me go a little bit to the west. Let me actually go look up at this other shed here, just because it looks like I left a couple of things out of it last time. Oh, it's not even a shed; it's a garage. Oh, but there's a shed over there. Maybe that's what you're talking about. All right, let me just go in here, just because it's partially scavenged, which is just, you know, gonna drive me crazy until I complete it. Ah. Oh, crap. I forgot my inventory's full. Let me quickly go over here and dump some things out. So, let's get rid of that. I'm carrying a lot of stuff that doesn't have a ton of value, but whatever. Oh, so Z Peekins apparently asked a question that I missed. By the way, sorry, as always, that I'm kind of bad at keeping up when intense things are happening on the screen. I'm kind of bad at keeping up with the chat. So
I guess it's kind of useful.
So Z Peekins has been asking about adding new costumes to the game, because or making more costumes available as unlockables. That's an interesting question, because we basically made the decision when we were adding the outfit customization system. We basically made the decision that we wanted that system to, you know, give players access to a lot of to enough customization options that they felt like they could, sort of have a lot more control over how their characters are, sort of how they express themselves, how they characterize themselves with the way that they dress, but not unlock so many things. Oh, and also give people some really distinctive ways to dress. Like, for instance, I was going to look at that shed. That's right. Also give people some really distinctive. Oh, right, that's not a breakable fence. Distinctive ways to dress. Like, for instance, the Halloween costumes and stuff like that. That seemed valuable. But there are so many, like, sort of rare distinctive outfits in the game that we didn't necessarily want to devalue those outfits by making them really easy to get. Oh, come on. This is about to go really badly. Oh, good. We've got freaking ferals. Okay, let's just, okay, I've got to keep driving away without putting myself in a position where I'm just going to get stomped by a feral by getting my car stuck. Okay, let's try here. Are they still chasing me? Okay, here we go. Come on. Was it just the two of them? I think it was probably just the two of them. Okay. That was scary. Whew. All right. Anyway. So, like, for instance, Becky the Bunny Lord is one of my favorite characters. She's wearing a pink bunny outfit. Now, and there's something very special about the fact that I've got this irreplaceable weirdo character who's got this outfit, and if she dies, I don't have that outfit anymore. That's just a really distinctive thing about her. And I think that's really cool, and I think if we took all of those outfits... Where was I trying to go? It was like was it up here somewhere? Anyway. Oh, get off. And now my character's tired, too. Whatever, I'm almost out of time anyway. Let's go over here, try to find this thing that Coalition was pointing out. But yeah, so if we took that away and basically made it so that all of those weirdest outfits, all of those rarest outfits were available just at will, you could put them on any character you wanted to, I think it really would kind of take the edge off of those really rare and special characters who are just individuals because of the way that they dress. And so we kind of had to we wanted to strike a balance between giving you enough control and enough, sort of customization options that you could, sort of like express yourself creatively that way, but not give you every single one and sort of file off all of the edges of our unique characters. So I think we did find actually a pretty decent balance between giving you distinctive outfits that you could use versus distinctive outfits that made characters unique. Okay, so because I'm in Nightmare, these weapon crates actually did not contain guns. One of them had a sword, which I actually didn't look at in detail. Let's actually see what I got there. It's got this is the rebar blade. Okay, that actually is a pretty good blade. So, actually, is it better than it might be better. Let's see here. Impact is lower, but dismember is very high, and lethality is high. You know what? Yeah, let's switch. Let's not use the trench tool anymore. Let's use that rebar blade. So, thank you, Coalition, for pointing that out. So now we're getting very tired, and I'm running out of time. Oh, crap. I wasn't thinking about these zombies being close. All right, can I get this guy off? Yes. Okay, so let's head back down this way. And, so many freaking zombies. Let's go over here and see if, as our last act, if we can claim a useful outpost without getting murdered, ideally. Okay, I've got 17 bullets left for this thing, so let's not get into any big trouble. And let's just claim it. Let's just claim it right now. We'll search it afterwards. It's much quicker to search things after you've claimed them. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have any room in my inventory. So what I should actually do is drop off a bunch of inventory items and then claim things. Drop off that, and that, and that, and that, and this, and that, and that, and these. Okay. Now, who is coming after me? There's a bunch of freaking zombies in that room. It's actually kind of unusual. I appreciate the fact that in a recent update, Zoe made it so that zombies are much more likely to spawn inside of buildings than they used to be. So we can actually get that sort of like, oh, what? What? Hey, shut up. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so there's a fuel rucksack. So, could be worse. Okay, good. Zombie fell down. I think I can get away fast enough. Oh, nope, never mind. Okay, so we're almost out of gas. I've got gas in the trunk, so I'm probably fine. But let's head home, because I do need, I've got a meeting coming up. I do need to wrap things up, so which way? This is not actually the best direction for me to go, but whatever. We'll go this way for now. I'm going to need to wrap things up and head out. But, so this is Playtest Thursday, by the way. This is, for those of you who are watching later on YouTube, this is during my lunch break on Thursday, which means that this afternoon I'm going to be coming back and playing even more. So, those of you who are watching me live, I'm going to have to, take a break to go and do a bunch of work stuff. But once I'm done with that work stuff, I'm coming back. I'm going to do some more playtesting in State of Decay 2. And we're going to try to, maybe we'll explore the north end of the map, find more plague hearts, and see if we can set ourselves up to succeed once we actually start trying to tackle these plague hearts en masse. Oh, wait. Oh, so Zedric, so I'm sorry that I ran out of time, by the way, Zedric, because I did want to look for that other weapon case that you were pointing out was going to be near that outpost. Because I ran out of time, I just couldn't. I had to come back home. But maybe next session we'll go back there and try to find it, because that does seem worthwhile. I mean, we're definitely going to be going back there multiple times, because as we explore in the south, that is our primary outpost in the south. So we'll be going back that direction in the future. So I'll try to keep that in mind, and we'll try to hit that spot up later on. Okay, so we'll drop this stuff off.
Make sure you stow that shit, okay?
And let's see, do we need to refuel? Yes, let's refuel the survey car. All right, I think we're actually in pretty good shape. Let's take stock real quick. So if we look at the base, we've got, we're making a profit. We're actually making a pretty significant profit on food, which is really good. Meds we are still using regularly, and so how much? We've only got 500 influence, which means that we're a ways off from being able to upgrade this this medical outpost. So yeah, between the we've got a field hospital and an infirmary. Is that necessary? I think that might not be necessary. Okay, we might have an opportunity here, actually, because I can make cure here. I can make all the stuff I need to make here in the field hospital. What do I have? Oh, I don't even have a mod installed here. Yeah, let's take down our infirmary, too. And let's, because, I've been worried about my morale, let's build a latrine instead. And now I've actually got a bunch more resources to work with. And so because of that, I might be able to... Can I upgrade my workshop again yet? Oh, wait, no, I don't have knowledge of mechanics yet. I need to get a mechanic into this community. That's going to be important. So I should... While I'm looking at potential recruits, mechanics is what I'm really looking for. Because I don't think... Do I have anybody who's got, like, a blank skill slot? I don't think I do. No, nobody here has a blank skill slot. So I need to either have somebody with a blank skill slot and a mechanics textbook. Or I need to find a mechanic. Right now I've got a couple of computers textbooks, which is great, but I think I've already got a computer person, don't I? Did I see computers on? Yes. Electronics. Our leader is an electronics expert. So, anyway, yeah, so I think that next session, my goal should be to probably explore the north end. Next time I get down to the south, though, I should definitely look for that weapon case that Zedric was pointing out. And again, we'll still be on a quest to find as much... to find as much fuel and ammo as we can. And yeah, I think we're good. So it is 1 o'clock. I need to move on. So thank you all for being here. Let me just double check and make sure I haven't missed anything super critical. Oh, so Cogs is pointing out that actually if I have a hospital and an infirmary 3, that means I have double primary care. And so like I can make my people much more resilient. So that is valuable. But I think that for right now, I think I'd rather get that rather not double up and get the that extra those extra materials that I can use to to do other things. So anyway, okay, I should get out of here almost regardless of what's going on in the chat because I'm out of time. So there's a subscribe button. I am going to play more State of Decay 2 a little bit later today, so I'll put a link there whenever that's done, and I'll see you all later. Ban that bot!